Hi everybody, we are going to do a bit of guided reading. We're going to continue on with prediction, but first what I want to know is how many of our vipers can you name? Do you know what V-I-P-E-R or S stands for? Pause the video and write down what you think they all stand for. Go. So, did you get all of them? We've got V is for vocabulary, we've got I is for inference, we've got P is for predict, which we're doing today, we've got E for explain, R for retrieve, S for sequence, and we've covered them all at some point this year. But today we are focusing on prediction. Now prediction is using what we know in order to make a sensible guess. We've been given lots of clues, use it to make a sensible guess. So, how can we be successful in this? So, we need to be able to use evidence to support our predictions. So, it's a very good idea to remember the phrase, I think this, therefore this might happen. Or, because it says this, this might happen. Yeah, we need to use a range of evidence. So we're going to go through the different steps in answering this. So we need to gather some evidence and then use it. We need to use evidence to justify our opinions. And if you notice, it says support with more than one. More than one. That's the important bit, more than one. So lots of these sorts of questions ask, what do you think about this? Or why do you think this? We need to be supporting it with evidence. You can't say, I think this. It's all about using the evidence and picking up the clues. What clues led you to that opinion? And finally, just to understand that lots of different stories share the same plot. Because it happens in one story, the same or a similar thing might happen in another story. So you'll notice that in stories, we've done it in our planning. We have things like story mountains where we have a problem, we build up to that problem, the problem happens, and then they spend the time solving that problem. That's a very simplified way of looking at a lot of stories. So prediction is all about using information that we've been given to form an opinion or to make a sensible guess. So you can pause the video and have a look at the green bit and look at all the different question types that you might be asked. But think of yourself as a fortune teller and just remember the phrase, I know this, so that means this might happen. I know this, so that means this. Because this happened, this other thing might happen as well. And we use predictions every day in our everyday life. If you walk into the kitchen and your kettle is steaming, you're making a prediction based on evidence. You know not to touch it because you're predicting it's going to be hot. You don't know that for absolute certain, but you've been given some evidence. You know that when water boils, it turns into vapor and that looks like steam, and that's very hot. So if you touch it, you're going to burn yourself. You know if you come to a road and there's cars racing along it, you know that's not a very sensible place to cross. You use the evidence that you've been given. The cars are rushing past, they might not see you, they might not be able to stop in time. Therefore, it's not a safe place to cross because you might get hit. We use these skills every day. So we've got a picture here. Now, this is going to be a model. I'm going to show you how to answer a question like this, which is going to come in 2 stages. So, the picture is called alarm call. What do you think might happen next? That is our question. So, what we need to do is we need to think about, are there any clues in this picture that will help us to answer? What clues can you see? What do you think will happen next? So, make a little list of all the things that you notice about this picture. Pause the video. Once you've got your list, unpause it and we'll go through some. So, we've got our question. What do you think might happen next? Part 1 in our answering process is to find some clues. You've got your list. The cat's asleep. So So it might have something to do with the cat being asleep. The goblin is about to scare the cat. It looks like he's got his hands up in the air. It looks like he's tiptoeing. He didn't want to be seen until he gets right over the cat. We know in dreams that we never really get hurt in dreams. And we normally, if you are about to get hurt, you normally wake up. We've got the clue from the alarm clock. Gives a rude awakening to somebody, because I don't know about you, but when I do not enjoy my alarm clock coming off, like going off in the morning. I hate it, but it's important. But maybe that could link the alarm clock rude awakening to the goblin rude awakening. And if you look at him, to me it looked like he had an evil smile and he's got like an evil look on his face. So let's use all of these clues to help us to develop an answer. So I've got an example answer of what it might come out as. I think that the monster will scare the cat awake and attempt to eat it. I've said what I think might happen. Here's my evidence. I can see that the cat is asleep and possibly he's dreaming, while the goblin is sneaking up on him. He's got an evil grin on his face and his hands are raised in the air, which makes me think that he is going to scare the cat awake. So I've spoken about the cat being asleep and it might be a dream, and the goblin looks like he's sneaking up on him by the way that he's walking. And I think that all of that information, that evidence put together, implies that they're going to scare the cat away. Do you think that's a sensible answer and conclusion that I've come to? Now, there are no absolute right or wrong answers. But you can back up some of your answers with evidence. I've backed it up, therefore I'm going to be getting marks. There are going to be lots of different answers that could be given, but as long as you've backed it up with one or two bits of evidence, then you're going to be onto a winner. It's really important that we're supporting our answers. Now, in yesterday's reading, we gave lots and lots of brilliant answers, but they weren't supported, and that was fine because that wasn't made explicit. But now we are. Now we're supporting it with evidence. Did you come to a different conclusion? As long as you backed it up, that should be fine. So here we go. I want you to have a go. We've got this picture. It's called Valiant Little Tailor. Now, valiant is almost like brave for a good cause. We've got the question, what do you think might happen next? Now, you can answer this in two parts. Part one, it would be sensible to make a list of all of the evidence that we've got. I'm going to provide this to you in a PDF, so you might be able to look at it in a bit more detail. So write a list of all the clues that you've been given that might tell you what's going to happen next. Then I want you to start to develop your answer. So use that to support your answer, to support your sensible guess and your prediction. You can use a writing frame if you want to. I think that something will happen because I can see this and this. Yeah? I can see that this and this are happening, and this leads me to believe that something might happen. Yeah, they're very simple ways to answer this question, but use your the clues that you find. So pause the video, give it an answer, and then we'll go through my model answer. Pause the video. So, model answer. So there are lots and lots of different ways that you might answer this question, or different answers to this question, but here are some of the main clues. We've got the fact that this boy, he is hiding behind the tree. He's hiding behind the tree. What has he got in his hand? He's got a stone. Look at the position of his hand. It looks like he is going to throw that stone. Oh, I can't rub it out. It looks like he is going to throw that stone. We've got two scary trolls here and they're asleep, and it looks like they're guarding something. It looks like they're guarding some sort of money to me. and we noticed that one of the trolls has got a bag on him, so maybe it's the troll's money. So let's have a look. Therefore, because we know all of that evidence, we might predict that there are two trolls sleeping, and there is a boy holding a rock looking like he is about to throw it. Therefore, I think that the boy will throw the rock at the trolls. He is hiding behind the tree with a mischievous look on his face. If we look, he's looking pretty mischievous. Which leads me to believe that he is going to play a trick on them, as he will hide behind the tree so that the trolls won't know who threw the rock. Do you think that's a sensible suggestion? Do you think that he's going to throw that at them and then he's going to hide behind that tree so that they don't know? I think that's quite a sensible suggestion. So I'm really interested to see what you come up with. Hopefully you supported it with some evidence. Now, your main task for today. I've got some more pictures on my slides, and I want you to pick one. You might want to do them both, you might just do one. And I want you to predict what you think might happen next. And what we do is, step one, we write down all of the clues that are going to help us to answer. And then, once you've done that, I want you to write your answer as a paragraph. So we write down the clues, and then we write the paragraph. Once you've done that, if you wanted to, you can read for pleasure for 15 minutes. You can go for longer if you want to. We really should be reading our own books, and just for fun, at least 15 minutes a day. That can be quite hard because you might be busy, but it's only going to help you in the long run. Yeah, it's really important that we are reading every day, because it does support you in so many ways. You're learning a lot of understanding, and that can help you to access so much more. And also remember, complete a book review once you've read your book. I've seen some brilliant ones come in. They've drawn pictures, they've coloured them, they've taken their time, they've gone into really lots of detail in the guided reading, the book review frames that I've given you. You can do it your own way, that's up to you. So anyway, here are the two pictures. Remember, write down a list of clues, write your answer as a paragraph. So we've got a picture here. What do you think happens next? I'm going to provide it as a PDF so you don't have to worry too much. And we've also got a second one. What do you think happens next? So I really look forward to seeing how you develop your answers and support them with some evidence.